Okay, behind me here, these boxes, these are musky lures. Tomorrow is the Michigan musky opener. Um, so I'm going to show you some lures that we're going to be using on the boat tomorrow, fishing. And these are some very large, toothy, aggressive fish. Um, Hence the reason I have to use a pair of uh, needle nose pliers this big to get the hooks out, and you'll understand when you see the hooks and the size of these fish tomorrow. But I'm just going to give you a rundown on some of the lures that we run tomorrow morning. So let's get into it. Okay, first of all we got these smaller bomber baits, all kinds of colors. Lots of baits. These are a smaller bait than normally used for muskies, but they're an effective bait. Let me get this one out of here. So I'm gonna be good to do. Right. They do catch some. They do catch stuff. They'll catch your finger too, actually. All right. So this color here is a Ludington watermelon. So basically it's a salmon lure, salmon color, but it's in a smaller lure. And we'll run these lures generally tomorrow. If we're not catching anything on the bigger baits, we'll switch down to the smaller ones. And if the fishing's not so good, these baits are good for targeting walleye, bass, muskies, northern pike. So it's good to have some little bit smaller lures in your box, just in case they're not hitting the big stuff. You can always open up some opportunities. So these are all bombers, and very effective. Box number two. Box number two is an assortment of larger baits. And this is what they call the fire tiger color, which is perch colored. It resembles a perch with that orange belly. And that's a primary bait fish in Lake Saint Clair for muskie. So most of the time we're going to have at least a couple perch colored baits out in the water. This is a jointed lure. It's a little bit bigger. We're working slowly up to a bigger bait. This is a bomber, just like the ones in the previous box, but this is a much larger bait. That's probably about a 6-inch lure, and we'll be running stuff like this perhaps. And you can see how big those hooks are. Those hooks are huge. I mean, look at that compared to my hand. It's huge. Hence the reason you need the big pliers to get them out. Plus you don't want to get bit. That's why I use a longer needle nose pliers, because these fish, if they bite you and bite your hand, you're going to be in big trouble. All right, moving along to the next box. Box number 3. Box number 3, we're getting into progressively larger baits. I mean, look at the lip on that thing. It's got a very big lip on that. So, got, again, perch colored baits, things with those perch colors, them perch stripes, them black stripes on them like a perch has. And these are baits, these are all baits that work. This is a Rapella Super Shad. Very good musky lure. Reasonably priced. They used to be about $12 a piece. Now I think they're about 15 bucks a piece now. Same thing with this. This is a Storm lure. It's a Storm flat stick number 16. I think that means 16 centimeters is the length of it. So like I said, these are very big lures out. and they got very sharp hooks on. I sharpen these up, make them good and sharp, because musky fishing involves dragging these lures in the boat, in the water behind the boat while you're driving it, and you only get one. You might only get one good shot at a muskie to grab onto this. So you want good, sticky, sharp out. See that? They catch really good. So some more of the baits that work on these muskies. Also, we have, this is like a gold bait. This is a storm lure also. It's got a smaller lip on it, so it doesn't dive as deep. Sometimes we're going through weed beds that are really, really high. The weeds have grown up near the surface, and you don't need a bait that goes down deeper. So you want to have something that goes right over the top of the weeds. And this is another storm bait. I can't remember the model of this, but this one's kind of a gold shiner color. Yeah. And we have another super shad. This one's in more of a walleye or a bass color, like a smallmouth bass color with the banding in it like that. But also another great bait fish that muskies will go after. So you might see a muskie caught on this particular bait tomorrow. Now we're moving on to box 4, and this is a box that's got some big lures. Some of these are massive. These are Swim Whizzes and Believer lures, and these are probably a good 8-inch lure right here. Lots of hooks on them. This is a jointed perch, as you can see. It's got the yellow belly on it. It's got the perch stripes and the little red bleeding spots on it, like it might be a wounded perch. A good musky lure again. This one here is a favorite also. This is what's called a Heelan frog, and there's a lot of large bullfrogs in Lake Saint Clair, so the muskies do go after frogs. So anything like a frog colored bait like this works very well. I apologize for the road noise, but I live on a busy street, so that's what happens. Moving along, we've got these two baits, also in perch color. This one here is a 20 centimeter lure. It's 20, I think it's 20 centimeters. That's what they call it. It's a 20. And this is a giant jointed thunder stick, and it's in perch color. Gotta make sure I don't get hooked on that sucker. That would be a real bummer. Now this bait here, this is a 26. I think this is a 26 centimeter lure, and as you can see, I can barely get this in the camera, and you can see how big those hooks are. I mean, they're as big as they're like a quarter of the size of my hand, so they're pretty darn big. But you can see the big lip on that. I mean, it's a huge lure. I mean, look at that, bam. So that's a very big lure. So depending on what size of fish are going after, we're going to match the lures for whatever we're catching the muskies on tomorrow. So I can go into more detail on some of the rods and the tackle and how we rig up tomorrow, but I just want to do a short video and show you some of the musky lures that are out there. So if you're going out tomorrow, make sure you get these big needle nose pliers, because I'm telling you, you do not want to get bit by these fish. Hopefully I get some pictures of the teeth on these things, but all their teeth are pointed towards the back of their throat. So anything that's swallowed into their mouth never comes out. It's in there for good, for eternity, till they poop it out. But yeah, they're very big fish. And I have this safety strap here with a loop on there. It's a connector. And what I do is, when I'm taking the hook out of a muskie, I clip this on so I don't drop this in the water when I'm fishing. And then I just proceed to take the hooks out of them. So the net that I'm using is probably almost the size of my car here. So you'll probably see some of that action when we catch some fish tomorrow. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get into some. Last year we got 36-inch northern pike. We got some bass, and we got 2 muskies, small juvenile muskies. They were little ones. They were only 24 inches long. So that's not even trophy class. These muskies can get up to 50 inches long and weigh in upwards of 25 to 45 pounds easily. So if you get into a real monster like that, that's what you're going to get into. If you look on my channel, I have a posted section of my channel, and I have my buddy that I'm going with tomorrow. He actually caught 2 muskies before the season tomorrow. He caught them like a week or 2 ago, and he was out fishing for walleye or something else and just happened to catch these by accident. You know, the season's not open for him, but he caught some. So if you go out into my channel and go to the post section, there's some pictures of some muskies that my buddy caught. So like I said, see you on the next one tomorrow when we're out musky fishing. So have a good time, peace, and I'll see you next one.